I headed to the newsagents today and was actually able to pick up the latest copy of Daphne's Diary. It's not necessarily the latest issue that's actually been published, because I'm pretty sure that magazine is actually from the Netherlands. So in order for them to order it over here in Australia, perhaps it takes a while anyway. My newsagents gets things a little bit behind the 8 ball, and I'm quite certain that this is actually maybe like the Christmas edition perhaps, or even like the one before. There's Christmas things in there. I think that this is the Christmas edition, which is fine by me because I am a fan of Christmas. But I made myself a little peppermint tea. I'm being mindful of my caffeine consumption because I have already had 2 coffees today, and it is like hunter's nap time, so I'm endeavoring for a little bit more balance. So I've done a little bit of filming work, a little bit of productivity, and now it's time for just quiet and relaxing time. We're away from the screens, away from the phone, and I'm getting into what is my favorite magazine currently, and just bring in some of those cozy vibes. Today we just got in a new book delivery. My auntie and uncle for Hunter's first birthday signed him up for this monthly book subscription, and they've been really good so far. So let's see what your newest book is. Oh, what is it? Rudy Nudie. A delightful celebration of those nudie moments between bath and bedtime. Well, this one's going to be fun to have a read of, isn't it, Bob? 1, 2, Rudy Nudie in the bath. Squeaky clean and splishing, splashing, splashing, Rudy Nudie laugh. And then the other day, I also got in a package from Amazon. In my last bookish vlog, I showed you guys my Amazon wish list and cart and said that there were a few things that I was hoping to pick up and wasn't sure if I should just like wait and ask for it as a birthday gift or splurge and spend the money now, which is obviously what I ended up doing. So I picked up the whole Laurie Gilmore like Pumpkin Spice Cafe series. I got the 3 books that are currently out in that, and then also just a Christian homemaking book as well, and then 2 board books for Hunter. I think it was the Very Noisy Bear and the Very Sleepy Bear. We've got the Very Hungry Bear, and that is a crowd favorite. But now that I have a few new books to add to the roster, I also need to add them to the TBR jar, which I created last video as well. And then the other day while I was at the Lions Club bookshop, which has been popping off for getting books for Hunter lately, I've been able to get some great ones. I picked up this one, Barefoot by Ellen Hildebrand. I've also got her The Island, and I read Winter Street as part of my December reading. This one was $4, 3 Women, 3 Secrets, and 1 Long Hot Summer. And I just really love a summer read, and I love the setting of Nantucket. I just feel like it's so sort of cozy and quaint and romantic. So I'll have to add that to the TBR jar as well. I wrote down the names of my new books, cut them up and folded them into my TBR jar. I'm also very hopeful that I will miraculously pull out a couple of these over the next couple of months because it is cozy season and I need some nice warm books to snuggle up to and read at nighttime. Next, I wanted to have a go at a little DIY project. I saw some really cute artistic designs for bookmarks on Pinterest and I wanted to kind of make my own in like a more cheap type of way. So I grabbed these cardboard boxes and I went over to Pinterest and found a few cute different artworks to print off and cut out. My aim would be to kind of wrap the artwork around the strips of cardboard and sort of turn it into a little bookmark that way. What I realized, the error in my ways, is I should have just made them bigger and just wrapped it the whole way around, but what I instead did was cut out two separate pieces of paper and glued them to either side. And because I did not cut the pieces of cardboard in a straight line and I glued the paper on, it sometimes didn't match up entirely, but it's my first go and I think they turned out cute anyway. I then wanted to add another little extra fall touch, so I raided my sticker collection and just put one cute sticker in the middle of either of my two bookmarks, and then I had two extra artworks left over that I can use for other craft projects, whether it's journaling or another bookmark, but these are the two that I ended up with. One is a little bookshop scene and then this one is this fall sort of countryside scene. And then the last thing that I wanted to include in this bookish vlog was a little bit of a reading challenge. I'm finding that particularly at nighttime, I'm maybe doing my reading, just a chapter of each of my books, and then I'm switching over to using my device, watching YouTube videos or maybe something on Netflix before heading off to bed. And not only do I think it's not helpful to use my device before going to sleep in order to get a good night's sleep, but it also means that I'm not really dedicating a good chunk of my evening to reading, which is probably a reason why it is taking me so long to finish my book. So what I've decided is that for a week, I am going to replace my nighttime screen time with reading. And I'm just going to really set aside a big chunk of time to get into each of my books and just have a truly relaxing kind of wind down night. I also sometimes use screen time during the day when Hunter's asleep, and I will allow myself a little bit of that. But first, I want to use the first chunk of that sleep time for me to sit down and read a couple of pages of my Bible, which I think will be really helpful to get back into the Word, but also just to create a bit more of a calm, peaceful, and relaxed mental scape to help me just continue on my day in that way. It has been about a week of me swapping out my screen time before bed for reading, and I'm really liking this little challenge. Not only has it meant that I've been able to get through my books at a faster rate, but it has definitely made the bedtime and wind down experience a lot more relaxing. So I am almost finished. Well, I'm more than halfway through this Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I don't think that that will take too long to read. This one is probably the one that I'm the least way through. I've just done that, so not even halfway, maybe like about a quarter of the way through that at the moment. And then Mother the Mountain, I'm a bit over halfway through that as well, but in the last like third of the book there's a heap of photographs, and there's also like the outro pages, so I don't think that that will take heaps long to read. I'm probably going to add in like another week or even just a couple more days of swapping out my screen time for reading to see if I can finish off some of these books. I was sort of thinking, oh, do I want to finish them off and then add another book in as part of my April books? And I don't know. We'll see how we go. Maybe if I do, it might just be something light and easy, like just a non-fiction that I come back to again and again, or a book of poetry or something. I have seen a few at the library that I would like to borrow, but I know that with the library books, I only have 28 days to read them. So I do need to be like a little bit more fast paced with those. So like this is a library book. Obviously I'm going really well with reading that, but I know with my own books, it doesn't matter if I take longer than the month that I'd set to read them, because I own them and I can just finish them and return them back to my bookshelf whenever I feel like. I probably would have been a little bit further through all of these books, but in addition to, you know, doing more reading at nighttime throughout this little bit of a challenge, I've also been going to bed a lot earlier as well, probably more like 8:30, which I know is a very early bedtime. Trust me, I needed it. But I think that that combination of like decreasing my screen time and having an earlier bedtime has been really good for me in terms of not only getting a better night's sleep, but also kind of managing my stress and like anxiety response, which is always pretty high these days. And it's definitely something I'm working on. Constant evolution, I guess. Hope you enjoyed another little bookish vlog. I know that these are very niche to like what I like. I love reading, I love talking about reading, I love doing like reading type things, and it's just not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but the folks that get it, and I appreciate you guys definitely. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below. I upload new ones every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.